Candid video. I've made videos like this before in the past. We've been candid about certain things, talking about the One Piece community, the One Piece story, and we bringing it back. All right, we keeping it 100 about Wano, Whole Cake Island, Zoe, post-time skip in general, right? Because the One Piece community is kind of in shambles. People have been talking about it, just about how break weeks, how things kind of go crazy. I don't think things are that crazy. Personally, I don't think things are that bad. I think things are just lukewarm based on just what's going on. But the controversy surrounding Wano, right? Because it's kind of creators, for the most part, they're not agreeing on how good Wano is or how people are talking about Wano. I think y'all just gotta be honest with yourselves. How you feel about Wano is how you feel about Wano, but there are so many things at play that we gonna get into. We're gonna get into it. Again, we're gonna be honest and candid about everything, okay? I want y'all to understand, as a viewer, right? As a viewer, what's the purpose of watching?
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
So this video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Surfshark, which is a virtual private network, is an award-winning VPN. You may think it's something you probably don't need, or you don't understand what a VPN does or how it works. Well, I'll break it down for you. A VPN is your own private network that you can use to protect your information while streaming, shopping, or just casually browsing the internet. It's funny because incognito mode to some people is very secure, but fun fact, all it means is that your browser doesn't save cookies. Your ISP can still track your activity and collect your data. It also does not stop websites from seeing your location. Yeah, crazy, right? With Surfshark VPN, it blocks ads, trackers, malware, and even phishing attempts from users trying to steal your information. You can use Surfshark to protect yourself, and you can do all this with one account, because one account covers unlimited household devices. So to start browsing safely, click the link below, use code B.D.A for 83% off and 3 extra months free. Yeah, I get it. Knowing you're exposed is terrifying, but use my link and protect yourself and sign up for Surfshark. Answer that question for me. When you click on a video, a One Piece video, so let's kind of narrow it down. A One Piece video, specifically, why are you watching that video? Is it just for information? Is it to be entertained? Is it for your points to be agreed upon? What's the purpose of you watching a video? Or maybe it varies based on the content creator, because if you watch me on my other channel, you're probably like, all right, I'm just watching for us to have a good time, vibe, and read a chapter together. Whereas you watch it on B.D.A, you're like, all right, I'm just want to see how he feels about a chapter, try and get hype, etc., etc. Watch another content creator, you're like, all right, I know this person's gonna be a little, you know what I'm saying, not too happy about the chapter, gonna be a bit more critical, let me watch that. So maybe it's based on expectation. At the end of the day, you're gonna feel how you feel. Now, I'm not gonna act like One Piece or YouTubers, content creators are not influential. Like, that's why a lot of them are called influencers. That's the general term for people that are on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, influencers. That's what people do. So they influence opinion, they influence how you feel, but that's not fact. You feel me? There have been content creators going back and forth at each other, right? I'm not gonna get into specifics in regards to what people or who doing what, but you got people on the side of Wano is good, right? Or Wano is great. It's just based on your expectation. You got people saying Wano is good, but it's not as good, nearly as good as it should be based on how Oda's been covering the arc. For me, I'm mostly in the middle of it, okay? I'm like, oh, that's weak. Bro, listen to me. The reason why I'm in the middle of it is because Whole Cake Island. I'm gonna keep it real quick. Whole Cake Island was the best and worst arc in One Piece at the time it was ongoing, right? And when I said a best and worst arc, Whole Cake Island was the best arc for a content creator because it was topic after topic after topic, controversy after controversy. That led to the worst arc because that was, I think, by far the most divisive arc. Like, it was very divisive because a lot of people were on both sides. People were like, yo, Whole Cake Island is trash. And people were like, yo, Whole Cake Island is pretty damn good. It's interesting that it revolves around Sanji because Sanji is that type of character, right? We got people that love him and people that genuinely hate him. Still a very popular character, but you got people that really hate Sanji. But a lot of hate, it kind of, you know, the adverse effect, right? People then start to love Sanji a lot more because of how much hate gets piled on. But that's not the purpose here. Whole Cake Island, while it was going on, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I love some chapters in Whole Cake Island. Like, some of my best favorite chapters in all of One Piece. And I absolutely hated some chapters. Right? Seducing Woods was a snooze fest. I think in regards to conversation and dialogue, people were thrown off by this arc. I think for the most part, post time skip, right? Things were somewhat telegraphed. Whole Cake Island was out of nowhere. We were like, oh snap, we gotta go to Whole Cake Island because Sanji messed up. Right? He just took off on his own and we gotta go to Whole Cake Island. I bet. Go to Whole Cake Island, it's a clusterfuck, right? A clusterfuck of good and bad, legitimately. Okay, so we have so many amazing moments, culminated, I think, by Katakuri as a character and just what he represented for Luffy and his growth. Then I think at the bottom of it, seducing woods, some of Big Mom's stuff, but in the middle of it, a lot of great stuff, a lot of great characters. In a way, someone felt like Oda was being a bit more explorative, trying different things, new concepts. That's why it dragged on for a bit. But it was a very entertaining arc, but very divisive. Again, those controversial characters. Who are the most controversial characters in One Piece? List them below. List them below. We're gonna make that video tomorrow, right? That's what we're gonna do. Tomorrow, we're gonna make the most controversial One Piece characters. Why is Wano bringing about controversy? Well, in Whole Cake Island, there was tension. There was a time where I'm like, all right, Luffy could legitimately lose this. There's a time with the Strides, I was like, I'm not sure what they do from here because things look grim. Of course, they're gonna ultimately survive, but things look grim. It felt grim, right? It felt real. We're in Wano right now. We're battling two Yonko. Not two Yonko crews, but two Yonko. Big Mom, herself, and then Kaido's crew. Big Mom's crew, they just chilling at the bottom of the waterfall, right? If you go to Big Mom Pirates right now, they probably got a bikini on. Right now. All of them got on bathing suits. Fighting two Yonko, right? And tell me the most dangerous point in Wano so far, in regards to danger, where you felt like, damn, things ain't looking good. For me, when I think about it, I'm thinking about when Luffy fell off, where Kaido's like, all right, you're not Joy Boy either. It's like, damn, things are probably starting to go backwards. That's a lot of people complaining about the tension, where it's like, okay, can we feel like the Strides are gonna lose? Because at no point did you ever feel that. For some people, other people are saying, well, you came into Wano with a certain expectation, and because Oda isn't living up to your expectation, you hate it. Okay, I think normally with anything, you go into it with expectations. Sometimes you try not to, like, all right, I don't have any expectations, I'm just going into this, let's see how it goes, which is bullshit, right? It's human nature to have expectations. You go into something, it's like, either you expect something good or something bad based on what you heard, based on what you know. Like, we're consistently receiving information and processing the information. That's what we do, that's how we're programmed. That's why we literally cannot survive without stimulation, okay? Not that type of stimulation. I'm talking about mental stimulation, where it's like, you can literally go crazy if you're in a room for days, all white, no information to be processed, right? That's how we function. So going into Wano, you're like, well, it's your expectation. You have your expectations that high. Bullshit. If you guys have been following the story or you've been in the community for a while, you understand just how much Wano's been hyped up. Before we were in Wano, bro, we were in Whole Cake Island, and editors upon editors kept coming out saying how Wano's gonna be better than Marineford. Wano is a culmination. Oda's been waiting to draw Wano. So what does it do? It builds expectations. So now a lot of people are going to Wano like, entertain me, blow me away, lock me up, throw away the key. I'm not, all right, yeah. So you go into it with a lot of expectations, and now it's like, okay, one thing you can't deny is that Wano has had his peaks. But some people say Wano has his peaks. The peaks happen outside of Wano. Okay, that's unfair, because 957 would have been the peak of most arcs. 957 would be the peak of pretty much any arc in One Piece, so that's unfair, right? But there's an argument to be made that even while we in Wano, I'm kind of interested in what's going on outside of Wano. Sabo, all that different stuff. But Oda, that's how he does things, right? We're towards the end of the story, right? So a lot of Oda's tactics that he used early is probably not going to matter right now, because he's like, all right, I'm setting it up for an amazing culmination of Wano. And that's the tough part too, because Wano's not over. So it's hard to say, oh, Wano is not the arc we thought it was when it's not over, but it's fair to say it hasn't lived up to your expectations, because your expectations, it doesn't matter if Wano is over or not. You had expectations coming in, and so far, right, that's probably the key thing. So far, Wano hasn't lived up to my expectation. You got to give the caveats. And again, the internet is sensitive. People are sensitive on the internet en masse. Typically, you got to say, in my opinion. That's how I feel. That's what I believe. Because when you paint things as fact, sometimes gullible people may think, hey, that's a fact, when it's actually an opinion. Because again, people in position to do this are influential. You are influencers, right? So there's a certain level of responsibility. However, would I say Wano overall has lived up to what it was supposed to be so far? Wano was hyped up to be the top one arc, the culmination of almost everything. And the information we've been learning in this arc so far, Wano is supposed to be that, with Joy Boy, Sun God Nika, the Minx, all this Luffy, Joy. That's the purpose of this arc, is bringing everything together. Everything will make a lot more sense after this arc. But, it's a key thing, but some people love this arc. You feel me? So as a content creator, some people feel like it's their job to let you know when you're doing something wrong, right? I'm not in a position where I want to tell you, hey, this is bad. This is not what it is. My job, right, is to inform you on things you probably don't know, tell you things that I like, tell you things I dislike, but I'm not going to tell you when something is bad or good. That's not my job. And that's not something I want to do, because I don't like what comes with it. Because I've been in positions before where I'm telling you, I'm talking to somebody, I'm telling this, yo, this is probably bad. This is terrible. Or somebody's told me that, like, this is terrible. Nah, that's bad. In regards to the literature or something, I know how that feels, right? Where you're telling me something I'm reading is bad because of technical writing or just rising climax, all these different, I'm like, bro, I don't care. Something does not have to be a literary masterpiece to be enjoyable. Sometimes people just want to be entertained. So I think it's a fine line in regards to critique, criticism, advice. And for me, what I like to do is just talk about what I like. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. There are things in Wano that I don't like, that I really don't like. Those things have yet to be fulfilled. Wano isn't over. And personally, I don't think it does nothing to focus on those negative things, because the positive outweighs the negative for me. Even with things I don't like, things I don't enjoy as much, I think harping on it, it gets annoying. Focusing on it, what's the purpose, right? Nobody cares. People like what they like. And then it's like, that's not the negative energy I want around the channel. You feel me? I want people to come to the channel and be happy, be excited, right? Like, all right, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. We can have separate critique videos talking about the bad, but that's its own thing, right? And you know, going into it, it's its own thing. So going into it, you know what to expect, as opposed to coming into a review, a new chapter, you're excited and I'm like, bro, that's bullshit. Now, here's the difference though, in regards to reactions versus this review, right? Because I do a review and a reaction. My reaction is immediate. Basically, I'm processing information right away. I'm not thinking about setup and all these different things that probably led to this point. I'm thinking about how I feel right away. And a lot of times, a lot of people base how you feel about something long-term based on your initial reaction. That's so far from the truth. Have you ever reacted to something just completely negatively, right? Then you sat with it, then you're like, you know what, I was tripping. Or you got some more information from someone, right? And you're like, you know what, that makes sense. I was wrong, that makes sense, right? But again, the internet, so reactionary. One thing you say, that's what we get from you, that's what it is. And I think I'm going off the rails here, but the long story short, this is typical, right? It's so many people. It's gonna have varying opinions, right? A lot of people are gonna feel differently about certain things, but I think what we gotta understand is that people gonna like what they like. Has Wano been the best arc in One Piece? No, it has not. Has it had some of the best moments in One Piece? Absolutely. And that's fine. That's fine. But I'm not gonna shit on you for what you like. I'm not gonna tell you that. That's not my place. And that's just not fun to me. Wano is fun. Wano is fun. Whole Cake Island was fun. I mean, personally, as far as arcs post time skip that I feel like is just sound from beginning to end, fantastic, is Zoe. But it's one of the shorter arcs, right? And post time skip, we've had a lot of long arcs. Punk Hazard wasn't probably as sound. It's like some slow moments. We know the slow moments with giant kids, some slow stuff, right? But for me, it's a pretty good arc. I enjoyed Punk Hazard a lot. Dressrosa, one of my favorite characters in Dressrosa and Doflamingo, right? Some people didn't like it because of the pacing, but then that's another thing, week to week as opposed to binging. So long story short, to cut it off here, nothing is ever as good or as bad as you think it is. What matters is how it feels to you. I'm not saying being toxic about how you feel and going around, no, fuck all that, my shit is the best. No, right? You gotta have some civility. Just be cool, be chill. How it feels to you is important. But the internet is never really calm discourse, right? Twitter is not made for discourse. I think there's validity in critique and criticism. I think there's purpose behind it, because if somebody isn't being critiqued, where I think that's a better word, critique, it has a more positive backdrop, right? I'm critiquing you so that you can improve, as opposed to criticism where just because I don't like you. So it's received differently. For me, critique is necessary, because if somebody isn't being critiqued or pushed, then they're just gonna push out bullshit and it's just gonna be whatever, because nobody's pushing them. It's not being critiqued. Critique is necessary for advancement, growth, and we need that. However, it's difficult on the internet. My goal today is just to tell you guys, bro, chill. Enjoy what you enjoy, like what you like, and One Piece will be fine. One Piece is still good. I'm still super invested. Wano at times has had me at the edge of my seat, where I'm like, bro, what is next? Wano at times has had me snooze fest, where I'm just like, I do not like what's going on right now. But that's anything, bro. You have good days and bad days, and the same for Oda. As amazing as Oda is, he has good chapters and bad chapters. A lot more good than bad. So off of that, it's just like, bro, I'm here. I'm invested. I'm ready to go. So, bro, do what y'all got to do. But yeah, that's it. That's all I had to say today. Y'all give me y'all thoughts about Wano. And I don't know what to tell you, man. People that don't like Wano, they have that right. Okay, they have that right to not like Wano. But people that do, they have that right as well. But at the end of it, One Piece is still gold. One Piece is still amazing, man. But guys, give me your thoughts. How do you feel about everything I just said? I'm not gonna just bring it down to just one certain thing, because hey, I said a lot, right? So just give me your overall thoughts. Is Wano a breeding ground for controversy? Is it that type of arc? My answer, yes, because of expectations coming in. Wano would not be as received negatively by some of the people that criticize the arc if it wasn't hyped up to all hell while we were in Whole Cake Island, even before then. So when you hype things, you got to deliver, and some people receive things differently. That's all it is. But guys, give me your thoughts. How do you feel about it? Make sure to like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BrogODAce. Follow me on Instagram at BrogOD.ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys all so much. Again, guys, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost.